What's going on, everybody? It's me. It's Dylan. It's D-Man the Voice. If you're feeling the voice. The voice if you're feeling frisky. And today, we're doing it again. We're doing the thing that I do. It's the thing that happens on this channel. Am I the asshole reading and reactions? You know how it goes. I use my, some would say, infectious personality to try to entertain all yous out there in the YouTube internet verse. I mean, if you like it, I love it. If you don't, go away. I don't know what to tell you. Anyway, don't forget to like, share, subscribe for more content just like this. Follow me over on Twitter X, linked in the description. I'm funny over there, too. I'm also a voice actor, and I post about things I do voice acting-wise over there and everything. I'm a busy man. I do this. I do voice acting. I do stepdad things. I do relationshipy things. I see my mother on regular occasions. I do all kinds of things. Things around the house. I'm a full-grown adult with full-grown adult responsibilities. Anyway, let's get into this Am I the A-hole, huh? Yeah. Alright, folks. Am I the asshole for kicking my in-laws out and telling them to stay in their lane and mind their business? Know your role and shut your mouth! Shout out to anybody who gets that reference. If you smell what I'm cooking. Anyway, well, I mean, I suppose it depends on the topic, right? Depends on if what you're discussing is literally something that's none of their business or not, right? Like, if it's about, I'm not really sure what would be your in-laws' business that involves you, because, like, your relationship and what happens. I mean, it'd be something involving their daughter or son, whoever it is you're dating of theirs, right? So, like, something, like, involving them, like, medically or whatever, would be their issue, but other than that, I can't really think of anything that they would need to talk to you about for. But we will see. My wife, 26 female, was out of state last weekend with two of her friends. Girls trip! On Saturday, while I, 26 male, was home playing video games. I love that. I do that too. It's a great hobby. My wife's parents showed up to talk about something. They want to discuss my bio father. Fucking what? Why would they need to discuss that? That's already not, I mean, I have no details on this, but I feel like that's already none of their business. Let's see. I grew up not knowing a thing about my bio father. My mom said he didn't want to know me. It's tales old as time. Fuck that guy. I believe my mom met my stepfather when I was 2. As I found out years later, he was my mom's husband when she got pregnant with me, and my bio father was also married. Oh. My mom's husband left because he didn't want to raise her a fair child, but he missed her, and they got back together when I was 2. Oh, my, but he always hated/resented me. Man, fuck you. What? God damn it. I hate that. I hate that so much. I mean, that's kind of messy, though, right? So, she was married, had an affair with the dude who was also married, and then but then the dude was like, hit it and quit it, peaced out, and her husband left her, obviously, because, cheated, but then came back. Listen, if you decide to leave somebody because they cheated on you, absolutely valid reason. More power to you. But if you then decide to come back, you better be fully prepared to just try not to hold on to that. Don't hold on to that resentment, okay? If you can't let go of that resentment towards them for doing that to you, don't get back together with them. I don't care how much you miss them. And then also, hating and resenting a child that did nothing wrong in this situation just because it reminds you of your wife's infidelity, man, fuck you. Fuck you all the way off. Fuck you all the way off. Like, what? That child has done nothing. That child deserves nothing, deserves no ire, no hate, no resentment from you. Okay? That child did nothing. That child did nothing but be born. Okay? So go fuck yourself. You hold resentment towards a baby. You're a shit. You're shit. And that's it. Okay? There's nothing a baby has ever done to deserve any hate or resentment from anyone in a legitimate sense, okay? You feel how you feel, but if you can't backdoor that shit to take care of that kid, fuck off, okay? Go sulk in the corner. Stay away from the kid. Anyway, I did not have a happy childhood. I gathered. I did not have an extended family to make up for it. So when I was 18, I did Ancestry and found my biofather. This is when I learned the truth. I was rejected by him and his family at the time and told there was no place for me in their family or in their lives. Damn, son. God. This guy cannot, I'm already only like the first paragraph in, this guy cannot catch a break. He's got his mom's a cheater, his stepdad resented him and hated him and treated him like shit, and his biofather and family just don't want anything to do with him. This guy can't catch a fucking break. Jesus Christ. I feel bad for him. When this happened, I had made the mistake of telling people, and the responses I got were mostly, reach out to individual members like siblings and parents or cousins because surely someone will want to know. Man, how about people just be like, damn, that's really tragic, and I'm sorry that, like, I'm sorry for that, like it's always people with the goddamn solutions, right? It's always people coming in with the, well, here's what you need to do. What you need to do is just listen to me, okay? And let me grieve. Let me get out my shit. Whatever. This became annoying because people could not grasp that it was more than just him who didn't want to know. They also couldn't understand my unwillingness to take the risk of finding more family by tracking individual members down. I stopped telling people after that. Completely understandable. Completely understandable. Because if every time you tell somebody about this incredibly traumatic situation, you get, well, have you tried hard enough? Like, man, screw you. Like, I'm just like, this guy's did nothing but be born. Okay? And, like, so these people to constantly resent, like, it's just, that would get so annoying, right? It's like, every time you try to tell these people about, you know, the shit you've been through, their response is, well, how are you trying hard enough to find family that does actually like you? It's like, you know, you can only be told to fuck off so many times in your life before you're like, all right, never mind. I don't want anything to do with this family. Like, so, whatever. My wife always knew the full truth. She told me her parents might get a little hallmarky and want me to do the whole track down individuals thing, so I never gave them the full truth. I just said I could never find him. Listen, hallmarky, it's not your business, right? So, in-laws show up at the house while my wife is gone, and they said they heard my wife and I discuss the rejection via my paternal bio side. They said they understood me lying, but they were there to convince me to take the leap and refuse to make it in the past and find more family members I could reach out to. I told them I was not interested and had been rejected by enough people in my life who were supposed to care for me in some way, and I would not do it again. I completely understand that feeling, brother. I told them that it was not worth it to me, to please respect that, and that should have been the end of the conversation, right? They should never have really brought it up to begin with because it's not their goddamn business what bro does or does not do with his bio family or anything like that. But they did bring it up, and the second he said, I'm not going to do it, please respect my decision, that should have been the end of the conversation. They should have said, all right, we respect that, we had to try, but we can respect your decision. That's where it should have ended, but given the fact that there's more writing here, I'm guessing that's not where it ended. They would not let it go, god damn it. They told me I wasn't wrong, but I wasn't right to think. They told me I wasn't wrong, but I wasn't right and to think about the happiness it would bring me and how you never know if one person related through blood might like to know their relatives. It's not your decision, your place to decide if he's right or wrong in this. This has nothing to do with you. They told me I shouldn't let fear make decisions for me, and they told me, as parental figures now in my life, quote unquote, I should listen to them. Shut the fuck up! You're not my parents! You're my wife's parents. Like, I respect you and thank you for bringing this lovely woman into my life, into the world so that I can bring her into my life. But my past and my family and my history and my parents have absolutely nothing fucking to do with you. And you are not now parental figures in my life. You are just the people who created my wife. That's it. And you get proper respect, but to just insert yourselves as parental figures, no. Unless I give you that deference, you don't just assume that that's what you are to me now. Okay? You're not surrogate parents. I told them to stop or I would need them to leave. Yes. They said I should accept that multiple people give me the same advice or right. It doesn't matter, man. If he doesn't want to do this is one thing that is entirely only affects him. It's only in his life. It's only in his thing. So it doesn't matter what other people say. He should do whatever he feels is right in the situation, because this is something that is entirely personal and only relates to him. Okay? This doesn't affect anyone but him. This decision to go and see or not seek out other people. Like, so he has to decide what he wants to do, and it's just, They told me to stop denying myself. I told them to stop telling me what to do, mind their own business, and stay in their lane instead of trying to bulldoze what they think is best. Yurt! Exactly. Couldn't have said it any better myself. Then I made them leave. They were so angry, but my wife was on my side. She told them that they should have accepted my decision. W-wife. Am I the asshole? No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Your in-laws were completely out of line. Completely out of line. Like, they are so far past the line. The line is a dot to them. You know what I'm saying? Shout out if you get that reference. But like, the point is, no, yeah, this dude's definitely not the asshole. He was respectful at first, right? Despite their incredible disrespecting of his boundaries and overstepping of the line, right? And just by bringing it up the way they did is completely overstepping their position, right? So he was respectful at first and explained, like, I don't want to do this for XYZ reason, and please respect my decision. And that's where it should, like I said, that's where it should have ended, because he was very respectful at first, but then they keep pressing it, and they keep going, they keep pushing, they keep acting like they're speaking gospel, and he just needs to accept what they're saying as truth and do what they say. And so eventually he's like, okay, I tried to be respectful, I tried to be good, I tried to keep this in a respectful manner, but you won't shut the fuck up about it, so now you need to be quiet and get the fuck out of my house. Like, I mean, that's probably ruder. I was probably ruder just now than he was, because he sounds like a very respectful man who has tried, to his credit, to try and find bio-family and stuff like that, and everybody he's interacted with said they don't fucking want him. So he's done trying. And I can respect that. Like I said, like, it's his decision. That's really the crux of it, is whether you agree that he should try and find every single last member of the bio-family to find somebody who likes him. What it really boils down to is it's completely his decision, right? In this instance, like, this only affects him and his peace and his mindset. So this is completely his decision, and everybody else's opinions on it, while they can have their opinions, they don't get to demand or influence anything he does, right? Like, they had a problem. They can have their opinions, and if he allows it, they can voice their opinions on it to him, but they don't get to then press and try and force the issue to make him do what they think he should do. That's not how any of this works. That's not how, like, this, they're completely, and I'm sure they mean well, right? They don't seem like malicious people. They seem like nosy busybodies, right? Who don't seem to understand what is and is not their affair to be dealing with. But they don't seem like bad people. They seem like people who they think they're helping, right? They want to help. They think they're helping. They think that they're, using their years of worldly experience to help out, this guy, their son-in-law, which, their heart might be in the right place, but the way they're going about it is entirely wrong, right? And so the second he said, I've made my decision, please respect that, they should have just, sat back and been like, fair enough, we've said our piece, where we stand on the matter, and just, left it there. Had a nice, reasonable, peaceful discourse, and just left it there, because it is none of their affair what he does or does not do with his bio family. So, like, obviously this dude isn't the asshole here. He's just a guy who has had a rough fucking childhood, rough life, and tried desperately to find people who want him, and apparently can't seem to find any of them, which I feel for this guy. That's a damn shame. Hopefully brother can find some chosen family out there that loves and respects him, and he can fill those gaps in his soul that his bio family refused to acknowledge. You know what I'm saying? So obviously he's not the asshole. Guy's been through a lot. His in-laws need to step the fuck back. And W wife, good on his wife for being like, no, you're right. You're absolutely right. They completely overstepped. And I'm very sorry that they did that. Good on her. Good on her for recognizing that her parents were completely wrong in this situation and standing by her husband. And that's not as common as you think. A lot of times people get real militant about defending their parents, which if they're right, they're right, and fair enough. But like in this situation, they're obviously way overstepping their boundaries and getting involved in something that is not their affair whatsoever. And so, yeah, good on the wife. I think he handled it well. I think that the in-laws need a goddamn reality check on what is and is not appropriate to talk about with their son-in-law and his affairs and his dealings and his personal life and his family. And no, he's not the asshole. I don't know if they're necessarily assholes either, but they're certainly they're overstepping their boundaries to the nth degree, and they need to back off. So, with all that being said, everybody, outro time. All right, everybody. Thank you for listening and watching. Thank you for being here with me. I don't know if the audio is going to sound different at all when I'm recording this, but I just opened the door to the studio, and the animals are in here now. There's a Piper Kitty baby. There's a Beastie Boy. Piper Kitty baby. My fucking voice cracked. There's a Piper Kitty baby. There's a Beastie Boy. There's a Wednesday kitty back there cleaning herself. So if the audio sounds a little bit different, it's because I'm not in a soundproof environment anymore. But thank you for listening and watching. Thank you for being here. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. More content just like this and content revolving around my adorable animals. And, yeah, follow me over on Twitter X. Linked in the description down there. I say things over there and talk about my voice acting stuff. And before we go, everyone, yeah, it's time for a special message. Yeah. And today's special message, everybody, is boundaries, right? Boundaries. Respect them, have them. Right? Too often, people will push past and disrespect people's boundaries because they think they're ridiculous or because they think that they're right. And if they push just hard enough, that the person will disregard their boundaries and be like, you know what? You're right. You're right. I that's a stupid boundary to have, and you're just so right, and I believe you and trust you, and yeah. But like, it's so important to have appropriate boundaries, everybody. It's so important to have those appropriate boundaries, you know, about your own self, your own mental health, your own stuff, and to respect other people's appropriate boundaries, right? And I keep saying appropriate boundaries because there are inappropriate ones, right? There are some people that use the term boundary to try and protect some kind of toxic behavior they have. And hide it behind, well, that's just a boundary of mine, you know? Punching you in the face is just a boundary of mine. Cheating's just a boundary of mine. Yelling at you and berating you is just a boundary of mine, you know? Like, people will literally do that. It sounds ridiculous, but it's fucking true. Like, people will do that shit. And so, what I mean by appropriate boundaries is stuff like we saw today with a guy who has some serious trauma in his childhood and has tried his best to deal with it and is still dealing with it. And his boundary is, let me deal with it the way that I want to deal with it, and respect my decisions, respect how I go about things, and understand that while I do respect you and respect your opinions on things, and I appreciate your concern, this is my affair, this is my business, and it has nothing to do with you. That's a boundary. That's an appropriate boundary that he has and should be absolutely respected by everyone in his life. You know what I'm saying? He's made it very clear in a very respectful way that, had to close the studio door. They all left. Very clear in a very respectful way to just respect his feelings. Like, he wasn't an asshole about it. There's nothing wrong with the way he's going about things. He's not doing anything wrong. He's just letting people know, like, hey, I'm dealing with this. I've dealt with this. Please leave it alone. And the fact that his in-laws could not respect that very simple, the most simplest of boundaries. It's one of the most easier boundaries I've ever heard to respect. And the fact they could even do that is just, it's such a problem. And honestly, it's so indicative of, honestly, like the older generation The older generation has a real problem with pushing past those boundaries, right? The people in my generation and a little younger, they're a little bit better with it. Not to say that people in the younger generation can't be toxic. Of course they can, But, like, it seems like the old generation, because, like, boundaries was never really a concept to them. They just kept pushing and pushing and pushing until they eventually get what they want in their lives. That's what their parents did to them. That's what they did to their kids. And so, and luckily, like, my generation and younger has tried to break that cycle a little bit. But the point is, like, it's so easy to just respect people's boundaries. And what's not easy, though, is to have those boundaries like this man had and keep those up. Because so often we feel like we need to bring those boundaries down to, as a people pleaser, right? All my people pleasers out there, you know what I'm talking about. You're a people pleaser. So you will bend and break your boundaries for people because you want to make them happy. Okay? Don't do that. All right? Because if somebody really cares about you, if somebody really respects you and loves you, they will respect your boundaries, your appropriate boundaries, just as you should love and respect theirs. Okay? They will understand where you're coming from. And if maybe you have to have a conversation about it, maybe you have to explain it, talk about it a little bit for them to truly understand. But if they truly do love and care about you, they will understand, they will respect those boundaries, and that'll be it, right? And that'll be it. And obviously, being in a romantic relationship, sometimes you do kind of have to move some things around, to compromise and accommodate things. So maybe some boundaries are a little more stringent than others, and you kind of move some stuff around, both of you, to make each other more comfortable and accommodate people, because compromise. The relationship's all about a compromise. But somebody who's constantly pushing past and trying to break your boundaries is not somebody that you should have around you, okay? Because that's somebody who does not respect you, does not respect your time, does not respect your trauma, does not respect things that you have been through and how you feel on things, okay? So respect people's boundaries and demand to have your boundaries respected is the message of the day, everybody. And that's the hard part. That second part's the hard part. Don't be so hung up on being a people pleaser that you will bend and break your boundaries for anybody who gives you the time of day and you feel like you want to know and let into your life, and because you want to just be like, just be the good person everybody likes, so you let people walk all over you, right? Don't be that person. Respect yourself enough to know and hold up what you are and are not okay with. All right? All right. With all that being said, everybody, thank you so much for watching and listening and being here. Stay frosty out there. Do the work. And I'll see you all in the next one, all right? Have a great day. Peace out.